Here is another look at solubility rules. It was covered in the previous screencast, so you can treat this more like a self-test. And there might be some very slight differences between these, which we won't dwell on for too long. There are 3 always soluble cations. Those must be the group 1s, right? Lithium, sodium, potassium, and ammonium. The ones that they list are just sodium, potassium, and ammonium. For some reason they don't list lithium. I would include it. And then everything else is about anions and their exceptions. So tell me about nitrates, chlorates, perchlorates, and acetates. The rule is they're always soluble. Chlorides, bromides, and iodides are always soluble. Oops, no, they are not. See, I got a little bit to learn there. There are exceptions: silver, mercury, and lead. Okay. And it has to be mercury 2 plus. Fluorides, what are the exceptions to those? They tend to be soluble, but there are lots of exceptions. Yikes. Once again, memorize it the night before a test. Sulfates, as I recall, have lots of exceptions. I'm going to guess silver. I'm going to guess lead. I'm going to guess barium. Let's see. Yeah, silver. Oh, not silver. Barium and lead I got, but there's a couple others, so I don't know if anybody has these down all the time. Perhaps somebody that's taught it for 10 years. The insoluble anions, look at them all. Carbonates, phosphates, oxalates, chromates, sulfides, hydroxides, and oxides. Normal exceptions. This is, how would you call that an exception if there's no exceptions to that? So the only other annoying exception is that barium hydroxide is insoluble. So that's some solubility rules. Let's give it a shot. We're going to have to guess a little bit where we go here. Sodium, always soluble, so I'm going to write always. I guess it's always, sometimes never. Maybe it includes the exceptions. Do we go to ammonium, always? By column. Acetates, always. Bromides, there's some exceptions. Silver, mercury, lead. Perchlorate, that if I recall is always. Phosphates. I believe that's rarely, right? There's lots of, it's generally not soluble. Yay! With the normal exceptions, right? Which aren't exceptions at all. Oxides, I believe those were generally, now I forgot. I'm going to say insoluble. Yes, good. Chlorates, it's up here. I believe insoluble. See, I got that wrong. Always soluble. Phosphates were generally insoluble with some exceptions. No real exceptions. Sulfates, generally soluble. There's those Baccaserb. Yeah, with the Baccaserb exceptions. Barium, calcium, strontium, and lead. Chromates. Those are generally insoluble. Hydroxides, those are insoluble. Oxalates, those were covered as generally insoluble. Iodides are soluble, with some exceptions. Carbonates, I would say generally insoluble. We're up to here. Potassium's always soluble. A nitrate is always soluble. Chloride has some exceptions, but is generally insoluble. Carbonate's generally insoluble. Fluoride's generally insoluble? Actually, generally soluble, with lots of exceptions. Sulfides, generally insoluble. Barium hydroxide is soluble. Okay, I think I need a little more work on these, so you probably do too. Take a lap through these until you can get it right the night before a test. This is Solubility Rules.